On most inch mics, there are 3 different scales. One on the sleeve, one on the thimble, and a third one wrapping around the sleeve called the Vernier scale. You'll add up all 3 of these to get the final reading. Let's go one by one. As I loosen the thimble, the gap gets wider, and I can see more numbers on the sleeve. Each one of these numbers is 100 thousandths, and the marks in between them are 25 thousandths. You read it by looking at how many of these lines are visible on the sleeve. For instance, I'm just past the 2, so that means this is 200 thousandths or 200 thou. If I spin the thimble one more rotation, you'll see the first hash mark after the 2, which means the reading is now 225 thou. I turn the sleeve one more rotation, and I can now see another hash mark past the 2. So I'm now at 200 plus 25 plus another 25, or 250 thou. Now if I rotate the sleeve just a little bit more, I'm now in between the hash marks. So I need to go to the thimble scale, where each mark represents 1/1000th of an inch. To read this, you look at the mark that is at or just past the reading line on the sleeve. So this was 0 down here. Now I'm at 4. So this is 4 thousandths that I need to add. So the total is 250 plus 4, or 254 thou. I open it just a little bit more, and now it's 5. So this is now a total of 255 thou. Remember that I said each one of these marks on the sleeve was 25 thou? Well, that corresponds to 1 full rotation of the thimble. So as I come around here, I'm opening it. I'm at 21, 22, 23, 24, and then back to 0. And at this point, I can now see another hash after the 2. So the total is 200 plus 25 plus 25 plus 25, or 275 thou total, and then 0 on the thimble. Now what about this? On the main sleeve, I see the 1, and also a little bit of the next hash mark. Do I count that next mark? Is this 100 plus another 25 for that other little dash on the sleeve, plus another 23 from the thimble, or do I not count this dash? If you're close to a line, the rule is you only count it if the 0 is below the reading line. So here I don't count it because my 0 is above the reading line. This is 100 plus 23 from the thimble for a total of 123 thou. Now I open it just a little bit more, and the 0 is now passed, so I do count the dash after the 1 on the sleeve. So this is now 125 thou from the sleeve scale, plus 1 from the thimble for a total of 126 thou. So again, the rule is that this 0 on the thimble has to be past the reading line for any visible dash on the main sleeve to count. Similarly, the numbers on the thimble don't count unless they're at or below the reading line. So right now I'm at 100, still at 100, still at 100, and now 101, still at 101, still at 101, and finally 102. If your measurement lands in between these lines, you need to look at the Vernier scale, and we're going to explain that next. If all this seems a little hard to keep track of, our training app has lots of practice questions. See our website, reimagine.training, for more, but now let's get back to the Vernier scale. Now when reading the Vernier scale, it's especially helpful to use the spindle lock to hold everything in place while you're moving the micrometer around. Each one of these lines represents 1/10,000th of an inch, or otherwise known as tenth. Note, in a machine shop, tenth generally means 10,000th of an inch and not 1/10th of an inch. To read it, I rotate it around and look for the line on the thimble that most closely matches the line on the Vernier scale. In this case, it's this 5. Then I'm going to add 5/10ths to my total. When you're starting out, it's easiest to write the values down on paper to keep track of everything. I've got 100 thou from my main scale here, and then 1, 2 from my thimble. Remember, I only count numbers that are below this reading line. So I'll add 2 thou there. So that brings me to 102 thou. And then I'm going to add 5/10 from my Vernier scale. So I'll stick a 5 at the end there. So my total is 0.1025 inches. Okay, let's try another. So I've got 100 from my main sleeve scale plus 3 more hashes. So that's 175. Now, do I count the 2? The 0 is not below my main reading line, so I do not count that. So I'm at a total of 100 plus 3 hash marks for a total of 175 thou from my main sleeve scale. And then I need to add my thimble, and we're almost around to that 0. So this is 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So I'm going to add 24 thousandths from my thimble. And that brings me to 0.199 inches, or 199 thou. And then I'm going to rotate around my mic and try to find the Vernier line that most closely matches the thimble. And that is right here. So that looks like it's a 9. So I'll add that as 9/10. And my total is now 0.1999 inches. Now I could have added it up like this, writing 9/10 on its own line. But the reason I didn't do that is because it's somewhat easy to forget one of these zeros and then accidentally add 9 thousandths instead of 9/10. So instead, I just tack on the tenths after I've added up the rest of the values. One other common mistake when reading the Vernier scale is to accidentally use the numbers from the thimble scale as tenths instead of the ones on the left here. So here we can see this lines up on the 6th line. Don't add this 5. Make sure you look to the left and add the 6 for 6/10 onto your value. And a final thing to watch out for when reading this Vernier scale is to make sure you're looking directly straight on the mic when you read it. So here you can see the 6 is my line that matches up. But if I were to look at the side, it almost looks like the 4 matches up from this angle. And this is because the thimble is a little bit taller than the sleeve, so it can be deceptive if you're not looking straight on. The best way to practice is to measure some known distances, like these gauge blocks or pin gauges. Our training app also has lots of examples to practice on, as well as a lot of other content, like how to use calipers and read drawings. The app is part of a larger platform designed to help manufacturers train new workers. In addition to stock content, you can also easily add your own custom content, and we're happy to help you make it too. Check out reimagine.training to learn more.